If you are somebody who takes everything with a pinch of salt, we really need to count your salt intake. I am Apurva Joshi, a foodie and a nutritionist. You are watching a video by Unbox Nutrition. We have often heard about how we should reduce our salt intake for less bloating, lower blood pressure, better cardiovascular health, and much more. Have you ever calculated how much salt you consume or asked how much you should be consuming? Let's have a look at that today. As per most guidelines from organizations like WHO, which is the World Health Organization, or ICMR, which decides the standards for the Indian population in particular, our daily salt intake should not exceed 5 grams, which is around 1 teaspoon. Now, before I tell you how much an average Indian consumes, let's have a look at some of the sources where this salt comes from. The most common source is the table salt, or what we use in our cooking. Now, one may say that this is definitely less than 5 gram for me, but do count it for yourself and see how much you're having. Apart from this obvious visible source, salt, or rather sodium, may be present in a lot of things that we are eating regularly. 1 gram of salt is equivalent of 400 milligrams of sodium. Based on this, let's see how much salt we get from different sources. One sprinkle of chaat masala on your salad or fruit can add about half a gram worth of salt. A medium serving of pickle with your food can easily add about 2 grams. Salty foods like papads, sauces, chips or namkeen can each add about half a gram to 2 grams of salt. Now imagine a breakfast of 2 slices of bread with a teaspoon of butter on each along with a small bowl of baked beans without adding any salt can add up to 3 grams of salt, which is 60% of your daily limit. So as you may have guessed, most Indians exceed the maximum limit of daily salt intake. Average Indian eats about 11 to 12 grams of salt daily, which is about double the limit. WHO has the target of reducing this intake by 30% before 2025, which is equivalent to reducing it by 3 grams. India is also running a campaign which says Aaj se thoda kam, that means you should eat a little less salt every day. Why salt in particular? Because this can improve your health and reduce your risk of various diseases by not spending anything extra at all. How can we practically implement this? Now, firstly, identify the high sodium items in your diet like pickles, papads, sauces, fried salted snacks, canned foods, etc. Consciously make an effort to reduce the amount you eat and the frequency you eat it at. This should help you in reducing the invisible salts. To reduce the visible salt, calculate the number of people you are cooking food for, say 4 people in a family. If everyone can eat 5 grams or 1 teaspoon of salt, you are allowed to use 4 teaspoons of salt in a whole day's food. However, considering that you may have other invisible sources, restrict it to 3 teaspoons to adjust the salt for other food items. You may realize that you are eating a lot more than allowed intake, but you can start today by reducing it slowly so that in a year's time, you are eating at least 2 to 3 grams less than you used to. One commonly asked question is, what if we are eating rock salt or pink salt, etc.? Do we still have to restrict the intake? These salts just have slightly more minerals as compared to the regular table salt. So in terms of controlling the sodium intake, you still have to follow the same limit. I hope you take this without a pinch of salt. If you found this video useful, please like it and share it with somebody who may find it useful too. Subscribe to the channel to make sure that you get notified when I post the next video. Until then, keep unboxing nutrition with me.